Today we are going to make South African farm style Boerewors. Yeah, 100% beef, no pork, none of that other stuff, just pure beef, the way that I learned how to make it in a little place called Stella in the northwest province of South Africa. The way my cousin taught me how to make it. So, before we get stuck into this, we also went to go to Calvinia Vleis, one of our favorite butchers, and he gave us Witzsche, gave us some valuable information on how they make Boerewors. So go check that out and we'll catch you in the next few minutes. Môre Witzsche.
Môre.
Ja, ons wil nou graag hierdie naweek lekker beesvleis Boerewors maak. Lekker Suid-Afrikaanse beesvleis. So julle is die experts. Ek ken net 'n bietjie van die stappe. Wat sê jy, hoe moet ek begin en het julle enige tips of tricks?
Man, boerewors maak is nou nie regtig 'n triek, regtig 'n groot triekie, maar daar is 'n bietjie werk aan dit. So jy moet die regte vleis kry. Ek weet jy het nou by ons gekry chuck wat 'n baie goeie vleis is, lekker, en dan beesbrisket. As jy nou net skoon beesvleis wil maak. Okay. So hoe ons hom altyd werk is ek vat die vleis na stoot ek hom een keer deur 'n maler, 'n lekker nie 'n te grove maler nie, maar 'n medium size. En dan gooi ons na die tyd die speserye oor die vleis wat klaar gemaal is en ons voeg die water by. Want dit maak die speserye dat dit lekker in die vleis vassit.
Moet dit koue water wees of
verkieslik koue water, veral as jy met rakleeftyd, want dit gee jou rakleeftyd 'n bietjie langer. Want dit help om die vleis langer te hou in jou pakkies.
Okay, reg so.
So yswater, verkieslik as jy yswater kan bygooi. Anders is net lekker koue water, ja.
Okay, nie reg.
Dan sodra hy nou klaar gemaal het, een keer deur die maler, dan meng ons hom nou met die speserye lekker met die hande deur, tot hy sulke stringe in jou hande maak. Dis so lekker taai amper besigheid.
Reg so.
Dan is hy lekker deurgemaal. En die water in swaan en ook 'n bietjie asyn as hy moet gooi. Asyn is altyd 'n baie goeie preserveermiddel vir vleis ook.
'n preserveermiddel. Okay, reg so. Nee, okay, verstaan.
Dan sit ons hom in die worstopper en dan hang dit af van jou darm af wat jy wil hê. Ons verkies om nie met 'n varkdarm te werk nie want dit is maar 'n taier-darm. So ons werk net met 'n skaapdarm.
Okay, reg so.
En dan stop ons hom. 'n size 28 skaapdarm is vir my 'n gerieflike darm om mee te werk. En dit maak vir ons 'n baie mooi wors.
Lekker. Maar dit klink soos 'n goeie advies en ek kan hom definitief al daai stappe vat en lekker wors maak die naweek. Maar baie dankie, ek waardeer dit en come support your local Calvinia Vleis. Maak dit so weer. Dankie Witzsche.
Okay, bye.
And we're back. Well, was that now not interesting? With some extremely valuable tips. I mean, it refreshed my memory, it refreshed how I should actually be making Boerewors. And here we have beautiful beef chuck, 2.6 kilograms of that. I mean, look at that. And look at the marbling in there as well. That is going to be perfect for the texture of a farm style Boerewors. And why beef chuck? Because the meat is lovely and it's separated. It's not tight like let's say a fillet or a rump steak, right? The meat's very compact. So if you grind that up, it's going to be too tight and you're going to have a dense sausage. So this is the perfect texture. And then you must ask your butcher, become best friends with your butcher, seriously, because here we've got beef brisket, just the fat, and the beef brisket, this fat turns into marbling inside of your Boerewors, and it spreads out into the meat, and it makes it taste delicious. And the fat itself coats that meat, whereas other types of fat will stay quite whole, so you want it to melt into the meat. So, let's get stuck in. The secret about Boerewors making is that you keep your meat cold. So after we've cut this up in blocks that we can chuck into our machine over here, we're going to get it back into the fridge just to keep it cold again. Right, so very basic. It's quite cold as well. Let's just cut these up into blocks. So when we went to visit my Oma and Opa, we sometimes used to all go trek down to my oom's farm, and there they also used to have cattle. And Stella is known as the Texas of South Africa. Check it out, it's the truth. There's just cattle roaming there everywhere, and so it's one of the reasons why we never had the beef sausage. I mean, there they made their own sausages, right? Boerewors. They didn't go to a store and buy it. They made their Boerewors. So we'd always have pure beef Boerewors. And the reason why we're making our own stuff today is because we know exactly what we're putting in it, right? And we're going to keep it all natural. I mean, we've got some beautiful toasted coriander that we're going to chuck in our pestle and mortar and give it a bash. We've got some nutmeg. Nutmeg is going to add a delicious flavor. And we've got nolkies, a little bit of rock salt, pepper, some sugar, and some brown vinegar. Hey, natural. No other ingredients. Pure and simple. That's the way I remember it. So, let's get the meat cut up and let's get it all mixed together. And once you've cut it lengthways like that, just cut them in 3, and then you're just going to cube it so that it can fit down your machine over there. Right, now we are ready to cut our brisket over here, brisket fat. So this quantity that we have will make around about 20 meters of Boerewors. Actually, I think a little bit longer. And combined together, this is a 70-30 mixture, so 70% meat and 30% fat. That is a perfect farm-style Boerewors. Quite a bit of chopping here. So this will make such a lot of Boerewors that I think we're going to have a Boerewors series. 42 different ways to make Boerewors. So get ready for that series. Well, not really. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Well, there we go. So nice small blocks so everything can fit into that McGafter. And the important thing is your meat must be cold. That makes sure that when you're putting this through, if it's warm, this is going to smear and the texture won't be great. So we're going to get this in the freezer to 30 to 40 minutes. It mustn't be frozen, but must be super cold. That's going to give the beautiful texture. Let's get it in. So while that's in the deep freeze, we're going to get going on the spices. So this is a perfect amount of meat and spices, measured and tested. So make sure that you follow this recipe to the T. Or you can halve it, right? Half batch is also alright if you don't want to make 20 meters of sausages. So you can halve the recipe. And the recipe will always be in the description. So 10 grams pepper. In it goes. Just give it a bit of a crush. This you can mix fine-ish. Just get it going there so long. Yeah. And then you add your 56 grams of salt. So here we have coarse salt. And this just helps the combining of all the ingredients together, right? And you want coarse salt throughout your sausage. If it's table salt, it's too fine. And you know, when you bite into it, you want to actually, oh, that's salt, that's pepper, that's coriander. You know, you want that. If it's going to be very fine, it's just going to spread throughout the sausage. And you won't get those pops of flavor. Okay, that's nice and fine. And then we add our coriander. This is toasted coriander. Toast it so that it has a beautiful fragrance to it. So that's 26 grams of coriander. So coriander and beef Boerewors is a match made in heaven. And you don't want your coriander too fine. You still want some chunky pieces of coriander in the Boerewors, stretching throughout that Boerewors. Right? That's what makes it like a South African Boerewors. So, if you can check that out. Can you see some whole, well, they cracked the coriander. That is looking beautiful. All right. And then we got some cloves, 3 grams of ground clove. And here's 4 grams of nutmeg. In it goes. That's it basically. Just mix that in there. Man, oh man. I mean, that you know already is going to taste beautiful. Just the smell of it. Lovely. All right. And now we're going to prepare our liquid. The liquid must be very cold. Our meat is almost ready. And let's get going on that. All right, so we've got brown vinegar over here. And the reason why we're adding this vinegar is, you know, you want a little bit of sharpness when you bite into it. And you want some of the sugar, the brown sugar, to balance it out very nicely. And this is really brown vinegar and not old brown sherry. Okay, so here we've got 60 mils of vinegar and we've got 12 mils of brown sugar. So let's just give that a mix. And in the fridge, we've got 375 mils of cold water. And this we're going to get in the fridge as well. And then we're going to get our meat. Right, let's get going. Fantastic. This is now icy cold. That is the secret to the perfect Boerewors. Okay, so important thing here is you want to use your biggest die, right? That's going to give your texture to your sausage. So get that on and give this a try. Get yourself one of these machines. You will use it. We've used this thing many times. You can make all different types of sausages. Smoked pork sausages, rations, Boerewors. Lovely. Okay. Or if you have one of those handmeeltjies in the olden days, you can handmeel it. Oh my word. Imagine how long that took. Anyways, so let's get our equipment ready. Nice cold meat. Let's get this guy on. And we're going to feed it some meat and some fat. Meat, fat, just like that. And it all comes into here, and then we're going to put it in a nice big bowl. We're going to add the flavors, mix it up. So let's get started. And that's that. Beautiful meat. Look at that. Perfectly mixed. Look at that beautiful marbling. And the texture of the meat's fantastic. That ratio is perfect. All right, let's get it in our mixing bowl and let's get those added spices. Right, so we got our freezing cold water, and I'm just going to add the vinegar and the sugar mixture to that. Fantastic. Great. Give that a mix up. Let's get our mixing bowl over here. Just transfer this loveliness into there. All right. Man, this is so exciting. Hey, can you imagine? You make this for your buddies and your family. Make some lekker Boerewors, your own style. Oh, this is freezing, and it must be freezing cold. Okay, let's just get the water in there. All right, and add all your spices in. That's it. Don't miss any spices, get them all in there. All right, and now you want to mix this till it forms like a tackiness so that it sticks. You see, at the moment it's not sticking. It must be able to stick and form quite a tackiness on your hand itself. So mix it in there for about 5 minutes. Now look, some people say mix it very fine. The problem is, imagine this. Now I'm going to put that through the mincer, right? And it's going to come out into the casing. And when you have a bite of this, this is what happens, right? See, because it's not sticking together. And your wors is going to fall apart. It's going to be like a really disappointing wors. So it must combine, it must stick together. All right, I've mixed it in for about 5 minutes or so. Let's stick it there. You see, it's sticking. That's the way it should be. All right, so before we get this in the casings, let's fry a little piece off and taste what it tastes like. This is the only time you can adjust your seasoning. So let's fry a piece off. All right, little beef patty. Smells smells great. All right, that's good. Smelling really great. Let me give it a taste. Okay, time for the little taste tester. Beautiful. Turned out very nice. I love the texture. The camera women, would you like to taste? Texture is beautiful. Coriander, seasoning, beautiful. Black pepper, salt spot on. It's ready, huh? It's good? Excellent. Let's get it stuffed. All right, so it's almost time to stuff the sausages. So let's first disassemble this gadget. Now, what we do is we get this contraption in that you leave this contraption in, you put that contraption in there, you put that on top, and you put that on there. There you go. All good, ready to be stuffed. So we've got our hog casing here, 2830. You've been soaking it in water for the past 30 minutes just to make sure it's nice and workable. And just find the opening. And of course, wash your salt off your hog's casing, right? Stretch it out as far as it can go there, not too tight, and then make sure when you feed it all the way back, and also that it's in the middle, like when it goes there. Just easier to get your vorties stuffed. All right, so let's feed it, and then we're gonna get stuffing. So before we tie the knot, let's just stuff him full of meat. And this happens quite fast. So you must fill this little bucket up here and just carry on feeding. Maybe the camera woman can help, we'll have to see. All right, so let me just put it on and try and get the meat just till there. All right, so as you can see, the meat is there. Great stuff. Let's carry on stuffing him. Right, so let's tie a knot there. There we go. So put him on and then hold your finger there so that you can gently let him form the sausage, not too quick, not too slow. Okay, dokes. That's a good length. I like that length. Let's just snip him off there. Tie him up here. There we go, all tied. That's a good roll for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So let's continue doing the rest. Number 1 down. All right, we are done. So that was successful Boerewors making. I think we've done an outstanding job. The Boerewors itself, if you can see there, looks absolutely smashing. Beautiful black pepper in there, coriander, lovely nutmeg, cloves. Man, it's gonna be beautiful. We're gonna get this guy into the fridge. We're gonna let them rest for 24 hours and we're gonna have a lekker braai tomorrow. So catch you there very soon. Let's get these in the fridge and then we'll see you in tomorrow's braai. Our Boerewors has been resting for 24 hours. Those flavors have married together, the coriander all those extremely delicious, wonderful flavors, and that fat content has just evenly spread out into the Boerewors. So we're going to get going on this guy right now. Got our fire going, so let's get it on. Look at that, lovely. Those flavors have fully developed. Can't wait. Got it over medium heat here just to see how my coals are doing. And we might drop it just to get that nice crispiness. I don't like leaving wors for long, right? But this is a thicker wors. It is hog casing, a little bit thicker, so it takes a touch longer to do. But let's monitor it, and I'll check if I must drop it. I think we've got a nice brown color on the one side. So let's get him flipped over. Yeah, beautiful. Not too much, you know, otherwise if you do it too long, it could burst. So I think that's perfect. A few more minutes and then we can taste. Super juicy Boerewors is ready. Let's get it off. Oh, man, look at that. Beautiful crust. Absolutely perfectly done. Okay, let's get stuck in. Fantastic. Look at that. And it's so juicy. Look at that. Beautiful. And of course, we have to have pap and smoor with a little bit of butter and your lovely smoor in there. Let's taste this lekker Boerewors. I'm telling you, beef Boerewors, lovely spices, juicy, so juicy. And you know, nothing better than having a lekker pap and smoor with it. That's all you need. Pap and smoor, lekker Boerewors. That is deliciousness on a plate. So, I know it's a little bit of effort making your own Boerewors, but do it, because you present this to your family and friends, and they're like, yeah, no, die Boerewors is lekker. And you say, well, yeah, I made it. Imagine, come on. So, if you like this type of thing, remember, we release new shows at 6 p.m. every Friday. The recipes are in the description, so go check it out. Like, subscribe, and we'll check you on the next show. Cheers.